Hello, this is Bridget Rao with Divine Essentials. Alright guys, so I have been so tired today. I didn't get much done, but I was recouping from my weekend class. But I don't know. I feel like it's just more than that. I feel like the energies are just like, ugh. But I feel like other people may be okay. So I don't know. But I did also get a new deck, and I wanted to say thank you to Kristen because she has sent this, and it was on my Amazon wish list, but apparently it's not available through Amazon because she said she was able to find the cards I had on my wish list, and they took a while to get there. I hope I enjoy them. Sending love and light. So thank you very much, Kristen, and I do appreciate you getting me these. I didn't realize that they weren't available through there. So I will put the link in the description like I always do, but you can just kind of like check out the deck, get the more information on how to Google it, because it's probably not available through Amazon. But they're cute. They have little poems on them, like little words and then poems. So it's like, you know, the worker with a poem. But I'm going to get a message for everybody, well, for feminines and masculines. Tomorrow I have plans to go out. My friend, it is her last night within her 20s, so we're going out for dinner and drinks, and I don't know how I will feel afterwards, so I wanted to make sure I got this up for you guys tonight. But if I do feel okay, like if I don't drink too much, I will record for you. The last time I went out, you know, I had drinks at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and I didn't record until like 4 a.m. So I try to make sure there's an open window there before I do, because I am a believer that it will impact in a negative way. Just like you shouldn't get a reading. If you've been drinking and stuff like that, try not to tune into readings, because you may actually get messages that aren't going to be helpful to you because your energy may be off. Like, don't get a reading while you're drunk, you know, and be careful of what you're attracting when your vibe is low. Like when you don't feel good, you may actually attract to you some triggers and things like that may not be there if you had been in your like balanced energy. I also believe that we can open up to channel some not so great energies when we drink. You know, you want to be protecting yourself. I feel like that's what happens when people black out, is they're actually channeling another version of themselves. And I feel like that's why their like truth comes out, like the shit that they wouldn't normally say. It's like, they have no control over it. It's like I don't know. It's weird. But I also feel like sometimes you have an ability to get into some not so great energy. Anyways, we're going to get a message for the masculine. We have sex. Share your most valued resources lovingly, fight obsessive behavior, and do what you know is right. The power of sex to rule our life, to cause much pleasure, pain, or strife, does give a warning to beware, for sex demands respect and care. The consequences are too grave if sex is not true love saved. So I've talked about this before, guys, and it's funny because desire is underneath it. So the masculines may actually be desiring some sex at this time, but they may be awakening to this concept that I've talked about, you know, anytime we have sex with people, we actually are creating an energetic connection with them that lasts like 7 to 10 years. It's not something that you, like, I feel like it lasts beyond that, but like, I feel like the intensity of it can be there for that long. And it's not just the person you're connecting with in the act, it's all the people they've connected with through that act, and all the people that those people did, and it keeps going beyond and beyond and beyond. So it is something I try to keep, you know, in that energy of only doing it with somebody that you love. Like, I feel like you should have a mutual respect, and it's something that it should be saved for those that you have that respect for, that aren't going to treat you poorly, that aren't going to like just want to, you know, do it and bang and then leave and not care about you beyond it. And I feel that the masculines may actually be kind of desiring that intent, that part of it as well, because it says fight obsessive behavior. So if you were dealing with somebody that had like an addiction to sex, or was like just kind of reckless in the way that they behaved, maybe there's somebody that kind of just does some things, like maybe they get drunk and then they just have sex with anybody that's there, you know, stuff like that. I feel like they don't want to do that anymore, so they may actually be fighting that behavior to continue doing that if there's somebody that was. And beyond that, I feel like if they've been connecting with a karmic partner, they may realize that there's not that sex, that it may just be sex, that there's not actual love there. And so I do feel that when you have sex where somebody's not having respect for you, it can impact you negatively, especially if they have like ill intention towards you. Like if they maybe, I feel like they may be dealing with people who act like they care about them, but when they, at their core, that person's core, they may not. And so they may actually be having some negative things go on as a result of it. And they could be intuitively picking up that they don't want to do that anymore. They may desire to have sex with other people because that's natural. We're attracted to people, multiple people. There's nothing that's ever going to change that. But when it comes down to the actual act, I feel they may be realizing that when they've connected with their divine feminine in that way, it was different than maybe the people they've been connecting with just out of pure desire. And if you haven't connected with them sexually, they may, you may be coming to that realization that you don't want to connect with other people until there's love established, or until you're with this person that is your counterpart. So I just feel like this is something that they're desiring, obviously, but I think that they're desiring it in a more healthy way. They're trying to fight those urges to do it in a way that hasn't been so loving and nurturing to them. Look at it, came out, desire, it just fell. So it says, decide what you think is important. Determine practical ways to attain what you want. Know what you want and what you need. They often differ, so take heed. Give thought to what you give away and what you value most today. And when you're sure in head and heart, you're sure to feel Cupid's dart. All right. So again, like I was saying, I feel like they do desire to connect in a sexual way, but it may just be something they want and don't need. And we've seen this come up for the masculines before, this difference between wants and needs. And I feel like they're starting to realize that the divine feminines may actually have what they need beyond what they just want. And then they could be dealing with other people in their life that are kind of just giving them what they want, but they're not receiving that love. They're not receiving that energy exchange. They're not receiving the, intensity of it. And also I just feel like in other areas of their life, they're realizing that they have things that they need in their life, that they're not receiving it, and they may have isolated themselves away from receiving it because in the past the people that they were getting it from were going to give them everything that they wanted and need, but they weren't. Okay, I think that there's just been a big shift, and I felt this like for a few days. I feel like there's been a big shift within the masculine's energies, and it feels like their desires are shifting. At the core, they still have a sexual desire. Of course, they're going to, but I feel like they're realizing that there's something beyond that available to them. It's not just about sex anymore. It's not just about getting what you want. It's about getting the things that you need, but also giving and receiving in an equal way. So they actually may be coming up with ways to get what they want too. Like it says, determine practical ways to attain what you want. So if they're wanting to connect with the divine feminine, they may actually know that in order to do that, they need to approach it in a different way as well. So I am picking up that for some of them. They may already want it, but now it may have been through you pulling it away that they realize that they can't approach it the way they once had. So let's see what divine feminine gets from this deck. What do we got? Self-esteem. Put your needs first, especially if you have a fear of feeling alone or being alone. Self-confidence and self-esteem are oh so crucial to your dream. Respect yourself, and others too will greatly value what you do. Those you draw into your sphere are mirrors of your hopes and fears. Perfect. Wow. So I do feel like the divine feminine, I feel like a lot of you have gotten into that place where you're focusing more on yourself and you're doing things like establishing boundaries in your lives. You're not just giving things away anymore. You aren't going to just have sex with your person just because you want to connect with them in that way. You realize that you deserve respect back. And I feel like there's just this level of confidence within the feminines that is shifting. And if you are fearful of being alone, or even just feeling alone, you got to work on that. Be confident in yourself to know that you don't need anybody outside of you. Again, it's that, what does it come down to at the end of the day? We could want to have somebody, but we don't need them. Like, that's the energy you need to be in to kind of attract somebody towards you, because it's like, it's a needy energy. And I think at the end of the day, we all kind of need to have somebody that is there for us in certain ways, but we don't need somebody else to give it to us. We need people who are going to want to give it to us. I hope that kind of translates to what I'm saying, because I feel we all want somebody, we all want to have something in our lives, but we don't at the end of the day need it. But if we do want that, we need them to give to us what we're giving. We need it to be equal. We don't want to give away all of our power to somebody else. We don't want to give away like our confidence and our self-esteem by dealing with things that take it away. And then it also had said, those you draw into your life are mirrors of your hopes and fears. So again, this is perfect for this journey, because when you're focused on like, oh my God, I'm going to end up alone, like, you're going to attract a runner. If you're like thinking like, oh, I'm just going to be used for sex, you're going to attract somebody to you that just uses you for sex, or it appears that they're using you for sex. Okay. So I say this all the time. They are your mirrors. They're actually like designed to kind of trigger these fears inside of you, but it's there to help you to heal it. Because if they come into your life and you're focusing like, oh my God, they just want to have sex and then they're going to be gone and I'm going to spend the rest of my life alone, that's exactly what you're going to see. We are the creator of our reality, so that's what we manifest. But we manifest it with them more so than anybody, because they are us and they are our mirror. But it's going to manifest in all of your relationships, not just there. It may not be so as intense. You may not care so much if somebody else in your life, ups and leaves, or if somebody else, uses you for something and then is gone. I'm sure you'll care, but it doesn't impact you as much as it does when it comes from the counterpart. And I think that's an important thing for us to always hold on to, especially when we're like all pissed off and we're like, you know what, they did this and they did that. We're just attracting more of it because they're there to mirror our fears, just like they're there to mirror our hopes. So it's like, they may be that one person that you always wanted. Like, you just see it in them. Like, that's the person I want to build something with. That's the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. We want the same thing out of life. We both want this. We both want that. Like, you may see like all this perfect stuff there within them, all of the things that you've ever hoped for, but then mixed up in it is going to be all the things you've been afraid of. So we got to work on those things that we're afraid of so that we don't attract that. Just focus on the things that you've always wanted and release that attachment to like exactly where it comes and how it comes and from who it comes. Just tell the universe what you're trying to create so that the universe can give you what you're seeking, without manifesting all of that crappy stuff that goes along with it. So let me get you one more for Divine Feminine. We have the past. Examine and overcome limiting habits and attitudes formed as protective reactions to painful events in the past. Whoa. Habits born of hurts long past can grow like weeds that choke the grass. Lessons that you still must learn into a different form will turn. What we learned when we were young can help or hurt in the long run. So again, there's this element of like, don't be living in the past. And I find it funny, all of these are blue because this deck has different colors in it. So there's like, you know what I mean? There's a couple of different colors. So we have all the blue, which is about truth. It's our throat chakra. So like I was saying, we don't want to be focusing on the things that have been negative, because that's what we're going to attract. All the times they triggered us, we start focusing on, well, he did this or she did that, blah, 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 and so we attract more of it. But we're also living in the past. And any connection you had in the past, like if you had a really toxic childhood or even toxic relationships before this person or even after this person, when we focus on all those things, we kind of attracted it to us again. And we actually start to live in that energy of like, so this goes hand in hand with this. Like, I've even done it. Like when my person comes back around, I freak out and I start thinking that it's gonna go back to what we did before, or like they're gonna do what they did before. And so I feel like living in those fears actually manifests it happening. But any fears that we have from our past, from our childhood, it's gonna show up in this person, because like I said, they're your mirror. They're the person that's gonna trigger it in you. So if you were abandoned from one of your parents, or if you were, sexually abused, or you had anything that went wrong in your childhood, and it doesn't even have to be from this lifetime, all of the things that society taught us as a child too, it's like the things that stuck out to us most, that kind of were what made us be fearful, we got to let go of it. But also the attitudes that we've like formed to protect ourselves, we have to be vulnerable with these people. And I know that's scary because you may have been vulnerable with them in the past and they hurt you, but that shouldn't take it away, because it's almost like a test. I feel like sometimes you're so vulnerable with this person, they see these things about you and they're like, how is this person even like feel this way about me? Like, because they have their own shit, okay? They have their own stuff that they need to work on for self-esteem. They probably don't believe you when you're like, I love you and I've never felt this way about anybody. Like, they're not, like, they probably don't feel like they deserve that, or they have those underlying fears like, oh my god, that's just a lie, or this person's just gonna use me and lose me. Like, there must be something else that they want. So I feel like, again, we trigger these things in each other. But whatever habits we have about like the how we look at love and how we look at the connection, we need to overcome those so that we can also heal our self-esteem and be more confident about the connection, but we can attract what we need and not just what we want, and we can heal to come back together in a beautiful, authentic way without all of the bullshit. And again, I feel like this is all about just being authentic and truthful, because at your core, you love this person, you want this person, you don't want to protect yourself to them. It's like learned behaviors and traits that you picked up after all of the painful events that you have gone through with them. So again, I think that we all need to work on like, this has been coming up a lot for me. I feel like our throat chakras need to be healed with our counterparts. And somebody I connected with recently showed me that too. Like, I think 1 or 2 readings ago, I had said, like, the next time I do a meditation, I had wanted to do the throat chakra. And then I felt like maybe the heart first. But again, I feel like the throat is important, because so many of the masculines and so many of the feminines don't communicate their truths to each other out of fear. And we need to work on that. And even if you can't communicate to them in the physical, because I know a lot of us don't have that afforded to us. We are in separation, or they don't, you may be blocked them, or they may have blocked you, or whatever. I feel like we need to be able to express our truth to them. So you could do it through meditation, through the astral realms. Hold on one second. I have to fix my doggy. What are you doing, Mr. Mana? Huh? What are you doing, Mr. Mana? Come here. No, you get out of the way. Mana, Mana, Mana. Come here. Come here. Stop. Stop. Serious, get out of the way. I'm sorry, guys. If I could pause it, I would, but I have... Stop! I have the YouTube thing going, so I can't. Stop. Stop! Alright, hopefully that's good. Alright, 2 of Cups just popped out. I'm sorry about that. Not about the 2 of Cups, but about having to step away for a minute. So the 2 of Cups we know is about our soulmates and our partnerships. I didn't really have a set intention for this, but I thought it was kind of funny. It came out while I was talking about what I was talking about. So again, there is this truth at the end of the day that this is your soulmate. This is your counterpart. This is the person that you may consider your twin flame. This is the 2 of Wands in this deck, but I always consider it the twin flame card in here because of the energy of it. And I just saw the 10 of Cups and the Star. So I don't know about all of you, but like the energy has shifted a lot. And I feel like there is this energy about where you may actually be hearing from your person soon, or there's at least the wish to have it. All right, from one or the other, somebody is wishing, or I feel like a lot of both of you may be wishing to communicate again. You're wishing to come back together, to make the decision to go towards this person, to express your truth, so you can have your happy ending. I feel like people are sick of separation. People are sick of living in the past. People are sick of not getting what they actually desire. And I feel like the masculines may be realizing what they desire is something that's not going to be coming from outside sources. They may be starting to realize, like, okay, this person that I've been running from may be the person that I need to actually let in, because they can give me what I desire. They can give me what I need. And I think the Divine Feminines have worked a lot on their self-esteem, and they have worked on releasing the past. So now you guys are doing the work that needs to be done to come back together into union for your happy ending and to have your wishes fulfilled with your counterpart, to make that choice together to unite, but in a healthier way. I feel like the collective I'm tuning into for this part, I feel like you guys are ready for this. If you're still holding on to like fuck them type of energy, I wouldn't even bother watching this reading. Just kind of, I would, maybe watch it, but focus more on healing this stuff so that because even if you don't want that person and you're living in all of that stuff of like anger, you're just going to attract another person to do the exact same thing to you, or you're never going to be able to heal them back in a healed version because you're going to keep attracting the unhealed version. So I hope that makes sense. But it's like we got to make that choice to focus on the love that is here and stop running from it, because I feel like at some point too the chasers and the runners switch it up. So your masculine may come towards you at some point and you start running from it because you're living in the past. You're afraid they're going to do what they did, and you may not run from it in the physical sense, like you may not ghost them and run away, but it's like energetically you're running from them because you're already setting yourself up for the next separation. You're already setting yourself up for the next fail instead of setting yourself up for this happy ending. So again, I feel like there's just like spirit coming in to say like, what do you actually want? Like what is it that you're wishing for? What is it that you want out of life? And then focus on those things. Don't focus on them. Focus on what it is that this is, okay? What does this person look like, taste like, smell like, feel like to you, without giving this like that person's name and looks and all of that. I mean, like, what does it look like, taste like, smell like, feel like to be in a loving connection that gives you all the things that you want and need out of life? Somebody that is going to have the same wishes for you, that can help to make the same decisions to rise up together into this energy. And I feel like a lot of you are here for a higher purpose, for this ascension of Earth. You're here to turn the world around and to rise into the collective to help other people to make the right decisions in their lives. So it's a big mission, but it also comes with big blessings. The more we give, the more we receive. So if you're going out there to help other people all across the world who are in separation, or all people across the world who, have some issues like in one way or the other, and again, you can be doing this together or separate, you're going to receive a lot back from the universe. So I feel like even if you're not wanting to focus on being with that person, I don't think you should focus on being that person. I think you should focus on manifesting what it is you want out of life. But I also think you should be focused on your mission work, on healing and helping others, walking away from the attachment to outcome, walking away from the attachment to this certain person, and just focusing on service. Because the more that you're in service, the more you're going to receive, the more you're going to rise. You're going to be, receiving like love and support from other people. And you're going to find that self-esteem and that confidence that you need to attract back to you the person that's meant to be there, but in a healthier way. So I hope that makes sense, but I do feel like that message needed to come through. And so I'm gonna just check in and see like what Divine Masculine's energies are today. Like, what do they feel? We have, oh, that's too many. See, the one thing about this deck, I love it, but it's so big and it's hard. So we have the Indigo, which is the Magician. So the Magician is all about transformation, and I feel like what they're thinking about is transformation. They're thinking they want to change where they've been at. Like maybe even their desires, I feel like, are changing, and they're wanting to move out of the troubles of the past. So this is like the Six of Swords, which is all about moving on into calmer waters. I feel like this is what they're thinking about. So whatever, and here, look, last night we had this for them, the Five of Pentacles, followed by the Nine of Cups. So it's like they want to walk away from any energy that doesn't bring them warmth, that doesn't make them happy, that doesn't make them feel good and supported and nurtured. And I feel like in the past, Divine Feminine gave that to them. The Divine Masculines were always receiving love from the feminines. You probably gave them gifts. You gave them your time, your attention, almost to a fault where it was just too much. But then I think a lot of you pulled yourselves back from doing that. And so now they feel like, you don't really care as much as you once did, or you've pulled away that energy and that attention that you were giving to them. And I think in many ways it made them happy, but it also scared the shit out of them. But now they're wanting to move away from this place where they're not receiving the warmth and the support that you were once sending to them. And I think a lot of them are thinking about reconciling with the Six of Cups. There's also an element of wanting to reconcile that inner child where all of those things came from, all of those beliefs that have been detrimental likely within their lives and your connection. There is this overwhelming energy of justice coming. And this is so funny because the reading I did last night had a lot of the same messages coming through from the masculine side. I believe that in their headspace we had the Five of Pentacles and the Justice and the Nine of Cups. I'm 100% sure all three of those came through, but I don't know about the others. But again, there's the same element of they just want to be happy. They don't want to be, separated anymore. They don't want to be like separated from happiness. It may not be that they don't want to be separated, but I feel like, again, there's a lot of them that don't. They don't want to be separated from healing. They don't want to be away from, that warmth. And it's funny because the feminine is holding the masculine energy within this card. So for me, it's always a little boy and little girl within these decks, and I feel like in this one, the girl's actually like consoling the boy. So I think that they miss that. They miss that joy that you brought to them. And I think for a lot of you on this connection, when you get together with your counterpart, whether you're just getting together for a little bit or whatever, you do bring out the inner child in each other. You bring out that weird like vibe of like, it's almost like something new. It's almost like you haven't been living on this planet for all the years that you have. Like, it's a little bit easier when you connect with other people. And I think that's why they've run from it in the past, because of the intensity of it. It's like, it just makes you feel weird and awkward. And I think that they've run from that, but now they're missing that. They're missing that excitement. They're missing that newness of what it feels like to be with you. And I also feel that they're definitely missing out on the warmth and the love that you've given to them in the past, because this has come out a lot, and I feel like they want to transform it. They don't want to be left out anymore. They want you to continue to like think of them, send them your support, send them your healing energies, because I feel like that has helped them in the past, whether they were aware of it or not. I think they're becoming aware of it because they may be putting two and two together, like, well, since she's been gone, things have been kind of different, And it can be vice versa. I know I always say he and she, but, this is just energy. So, again, we all share these energies inside of us, but you can also be a feminine and be a woman and vice versa. So just take it as it resonates to your situation. The Adept of Flames just came out, which is the Knight of Wands. But in this deck, it's not as much like, for me, it's somebody that's learned, okay? This is somebody that's learned, and they have this passion inside of them, and they don't want to give up, all right? The Knight of Wands isn't somebody that gives up. They're like, you know what? I'm going to get what I want, either one way or another. It's like that song, One Way or Another. I don't know why that's coming through, but it is. So that may be a message for some of you. You may kind of think of that, your person, when that song comes on, but I feel like they're in that energy. It's like, one way or another, I'm going to find you. I'm going to get you. Because we have the Eight of Flames, which is the Eight of Wands, which is about communication, taking action. So like I said, I feel like they don't want to give up on this. They want to communicate. They want that warmth. The flames is energy. It's fire. It's like they want to have that fire ignited within you. And I think a lot of them are hoping that you're still waiting for them. The Three of Wands is about waiting for your ships to come in. There's like this, they're wondering if you're still there. They're wondering if you've gone off and are like traveling the world in a new direction, completely away from them. It's like they want to come back, okay? So I feel like, again, a lot of karma has been cleared. They're rising out of the darkness of whatever they've gone through, and they're ready to blossom like the lotus. They're ready to embrace the light, to embrace this connection. They don't want to be in the dark anymore. They don't want to be separated from the love that you give them. They don't want to be separated from the sex that you give them. They're desiring to connect with you. And Divine Feminine, if you've been living in the past, you got to let go, and have that confidence to know that you can have this and not have the pain that has gone along with it. If you're living in the past and thinking of like all the wrong things, it's just like, just know that the karma has been dealt with and you're good, okay? Hold on to that inner strength inside of you. I know there's been a reputation that goes along with this, but break the reputation. Don't continue to repeat it so that continuously like creating more karma between the two of you. You know, see that the tower has fallen and it's time to pick it back up. It's time to build together in a new way, in a healthy way, where you have this passion that's ignited for the both of you, and we're not looking at like all the illusions. We're not thinking about all the nasty stuff that has happened. We're not tricking ourselves by trying to fill our basket up with every single thing, while in the meantime we're losing shit out the back. Like, just focus on the present moment and focus on the positive. You know, allow your lover to come to you, allow them to make that choice to come to you, and know that because you guys have gone through all that darkness, it's going to be stronger than it ever was, and you are going to understand things more so than you ever had in the past. This is the Master of Crystals, which is the King of Pentacles. You're attracting back somebody that's much more stable, somebody that needed that time. You know, you both needed that time in separation. You both needed that time to heal, so that you could learn how to become the best versions of each of yourselves, and then come back together when that power was there, so that you could express this love. So this is the King of Cups too. So I feel like they are thinking about offering you something stable. They're offering you unconditional love. They're offering you this strength of their heart. And I always attribute this with the divine masculines because of the Lion. I don't know why. I just feel like it's a perfect thing for them, because I can see this in them. The divine masculine has just as much power and strength inside of them as, like, you know, like magical power and strength, like the ability to manifest, the ability to heal the collective. They are healers. They are light workers, whether they realize it or not. That power exists inside of them, and I feel like they are this tiger ready to just pounce. They're ready to break out of the crap, like the mundane bullshit that they've been living within, the karmic stuff that's just like skimming the surface of what they could truly have in their lives if they just tapped into this, if they just tapped into their intuition, they tapped into that power that they have with their divine feminine, and worked together to make that decision to release all of this stuff. And I feel like this is just self-sabotaging thoughts, those beliefs, those patterns that we've both existed within. And I think that they are trying to make that decision to offer you this, because they found the strength to decide to let go of that, okay? They don't want to hold on to too much shit in the basket anymore. They don't want this tower to continue to crumble, because every time it crumbles, it hurts harder than it did in the time before, and it's harder to build back up. They don't want to keep creating ripples within the energies of the lake that exists between the two of your hearts. You know, they just want to have that calm, beautiful energy between the two of you, so you can rise up together and blossom into this love. But I do feel that a lot of them are wondering, is she still there? Is she still waiting on me, or has she navigated off? And I think there is a desire to communicate with you, and there's a definite desire to communicate with you in a sexual way. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, there's a lot of passion coming through for them, and there's a lot of sexual desires coming through for them, because they know you can give them what they want and need. All right? I think they're starting to realize that. They're starting to see the potential here to transform their lives, the abundance that will come into their lives when they have this connection with their feminine in a beautiful, sacred way, when they're not coming in as just that Knight of Wands who comes and goes, when they come in as the Knight of Wands but choose to stay. And it has to be their choice to stay. You can't make them stay. You want to just give them that freedom so that they can make that decision by just being there with your arms wide open in that unconditional love. Of course, I'm not saying be somebody that just lets them like hold on to this understanding about this. If they're just coming for that and then running away, no, don't do that. But if you know they're coming and the energy has shifted and they're wanting this, they're wanting to come out of the cold, you know, give them that opportunity so that justice can be served within your connection, which I feel is something that's coming. I know a lot of the karma stuff has been cleared up, and for everybody, those contracts are different. This can indicate, like, you know, divorce. This can indicate even them, like, getting out of jail. Like, you know, there's all different stuff that can happen with. But it's like karmic contracts, I feel, are just closing out, and also the ones between the two of you, allowing you to offer them that warmth, allowing you guys to reconcile and to move on out of the troubles that have happened within this situation. So let's see what they're feeling. Whoa. What is Divine Masculine feeling, please? Didn't fall. Give me a card. Solar deity. So this is the sun. And on the bottom of the deck here, I do have Ascension. So I feel they're actually feeling the strength of the divine masculine energy within them. So the sun for me is masculine energy. It's also clarity. It's the light that we hold within us. And with the Pegasus, it's like, I feel like they want to spread their wings. They want to soar. They want to get into that light. I think a lot of them have been going through an awakening. A lot of them were in Dark Night of the Soul energy in the past, but it feels like they've shifted out of that. They're starting to ascend. They're starting to recognize their power to create. They're recognizing the power that they have within them to heal. You know, and I think that the divine feminines have kind of showed them that, you know, they've kind of like, so masculines usually awaken the feminines, feminines then in turn awaken the masculine to this understanding that there's something more available to you. So it's like they're starting to wish for something more. They're wanting to turn their world around in regards to the connection. They've had some sort of clarity, and I feel like they feel this wish within them to turn it around, to come to the end of separation, to bring the light back into your life, to bring the divine masculine energy back into your world, to fulfill these wishes as, you know, soulmates and twin flames. They're there. They're wanting to give you that love. They're wanting to make that decision for this partnership to elevate up. And I think in the past they were juggling around trying to figure out what the hell they wanted. You know, they couldn't understand the Two of Pentacles. But I think now they do realize what they want is union. They're wanting their Four of Wands, Twin Flame, 11-11 union. They're wanting that passion back. They're wanting that fire. And they feel like the Master of Flames. So they're thinking, you know, of taking action. They're not giving up. That's that Knight of Wands energy. But in their emotional body, they feel like the King of Wands. They feel like they want something here that isn't going to end, that isn't going to die out. You know, so I think that there is this healthy passion within them to come towards you to build something stable that's going to lead to your happy ending. They are feeling like they want the love, the unconditional love of that Queen of Cups. And they feel like they want a new beginning where this love can be expressed, where they can, you know, have the cup overflow. And again, there's a lot of passion that they have. So they're wanting, this is like my phallics card, you know, the Ace of Wands for me is always, you know, a pee-pee card. But for me, it just shows how much passion they have. They don't want to stay out in the cold. Look at here again, Six of Wands. They want victory with you, but it's not an unhealthy victory because there's also love here. You know, if it was just this coming through and it was just the Knight of Wands coming through and we didn't have all this other energy, I would say that maybe they're just thinking about sex. But because there's love here, because the cups are here, because of all the other energy that has come through, I feel like they're shifting what their focus is when it comes to this. Of course, they're always going to have this sexual desire, just like the feminine always has it. But I think that the way that they're desiring it is shifting because they know that it's different with somebody that loves them unconditionally, and they are wanting to have that happy ending. They're wanting the next phase to be shifting. They're wanting to alchemize the pain of the past. They're wanting to transmute it so they can have a passionate new beginning where they can receive your unconditional love, and then they can have that victory with you that doesn't end. They're wanting to build something. The Eight of Pentacles, again, it's all about being stable and helping to grow into this fulfillment from within, to have the union, to no longer juggle this imbalance that they were having, to no longer juggle what it means to have somebody in your life romantically. And so they see this ability, they feel this ability to attain their wishes with you and to turn their world around and bring that light and that passion of the King of Wands. So let's see what actions they may take. Oh, we got the Ace of Cups again. So I feel like they may actually come towards you in a way to show you that they want this, all right? They want a new beginning. They want to express their love. They want their cup to overflow, and their actions are going to align with that. And here we have the Queen of Cups again. So it's telling me that they're going to take action towards her. I feel like look, there it is again. I feel like they really want to just have a new beginning. So let's see what else comes through for them. the Adept of Cups. So this is the Knight of Cups. This is the person that actually makes the offer. And we also have the Hanging Man here. So I'm going to be honest, some of them may stay in this energy for a little while. They may just think about this for a little while, think about how they can swim towards you. But for some of them, I feel like they're going to break out of the Hangman energy. So if your person's been in this energy for, quite some time, you've been in separation, you haven't heard from them, it's been days, weeks, months, whatever it's been. Some of you, I know it's been years that they've just been like stuck. Just know that they were having their awakening at that time. And when they start swinging, they're going to be swinging towards you. And they're going to take that action as the Knight of Cups to present this love to you, so they can receive the love from you, so that they can build. Like I said, they're wanting to build something solid, and it's based out of love. It's not based out of passion, because we don't have any of the passion here. We have all of this emotion coming through. So again, I think that for a lot of you, you could be dealing with water signs, but I just think at the end of the day, they feel this desire to connect in a way that they maybe haven't in the past. I think in the past there was a lot of passion, but not a whole lot of love. Of course, the passion is here, but I think the love has grown as well. Like something has transformed. And it could be because they've had their hearts broken, or it could be because they know they broke your hearts due to third-party situations. I think they've reflected on it. I think they went into their hermit mode. They thought about what they did, and now they're choosing to come out of that. They're choosing to follow their intuition, because I feel like they've had signs. They've gotten synchronicity about this connection, about who you are, that they know, within them at a soul level, that these other experiences they've connected with may have had the passion, but they didn't have the love. They're wanting to take that next leap of faith towards you to come out of the dark. They don't want to be in that place of separation. They want to show up as the Hierophant. They want to give you that commitment, and they want to use all of the wisdom that they've learned while they did reflect to communicate. So we do have the Ace of Orbs, which is the Ace of Swords. So I do feel they're going to communicate with you. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to do it, but I feel like they're going to kind of come in quickly when they make the decision. They're going to be like, okay, here I come. So for some of them, they may have to walk away from somebody that they've been with, and that may be a little bit slower than the others. But for others, I feel like there's just going to be a quick death and a rebirth, because the shadow is like the devil card, and then the new foundation is going to be built with you, where you can balance this connection out. Six of Pentacles. And for those of you who, they're single, I feel like it will be a little bit faster than those who are, married or in a long-term relationship with somebody. But at the end of the day, I feel like the Divine Feminines that have worked on their value and their worth, you've embodied this Nine of Pentacles energy, you're going to get your Ten of Pentacles pretty soon. I feel like there is something stable coming your way, and there is victory coming your way. So whatever things were holding you back in the past, I think it's shifting. And this full moon in Libra is all about balancing stuff out. So I think that this moon is going to help you to uncover anything that may be hidden to you. And that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad secret. It could be the secret that they still care. They still want to come. They want to have the Ace of Pentacles. They want something solid and beautiful. They want to give you that commitment. So I was wrong. The other one was the Emperor, which I almost thought it was, but then I was like, no, but then I looked at it. I must have seen the wrong number. But anyways, they're coming as the Emperor. So they've reflected on this decision to come towards their counterpart. Their intuitive High Priestess energy is pushing them towards this new beginning. They're in their Emperor energy, but this Emperor isn't the control freak. This Emperor isn't somebody holding on to a bunch of ego. This Emperor has learned, okay? They have learned their lessons, and they know they need to bring new communication. And I feel like some of them do want to do it quickly. They want to walk away from whatever stuff has held them back. They want to give you that new beginning of value. So for some of them that have been needing to go through divorce and all of that, it's probably going to be a little bit slower than for somebody else that can just put a death to wherever they've been at and come towards you quickly. But I do think that new foundations are being built out of stability, out of balance, and it's because the feminines, you've worked on yourself, you've healed, you've grown, you know what victory actually means to you now, and so the secrets that were hidden are going to come to light, and you're going to have a new beginning in your life with value, where this person is going to bring into this connection all that they've learned while they reflected, so that you can work in this partnership together. And this one, it's this is for me, in this deck, this is the Three of Pentacles, which is about a partnership, but it's also about like working together like you've learned. Okay, this is like a school, and I feel like you've both learned the lessons you needed to learn so that you can actually turn around and help others to learn. You can help the collective to grow. You can help in the ascension of the planet. Yeah, you're gonna rise up, and like there's so much power within each of you, like individually, but when you come together, everything that you have now just bounces like tenfold. Like all of the abundance that you have, all of the love that you have, like when you come together in union, like real union, it just explodes. You know, that passion explodes, that fire inside of you ignites, and you have all of this energy and all of this love to give, and you're able to help other people to make those changes in their lives. And then the more you're giving out, the more you're going to receive. So I feel like you are going to, in many ways, becomes, you know, the star. You're going to rise up. You're going to be helping so many more people just by being together. It doesn't necessarily mean that you go out and you reach fame or stardom, but I feel like your energies together are going to rise up. And just by the two of you have overcoming all that you did, you're going to help a lot of people to do the same. You're going to set that path for others to do the same. And I do think in a lot of the connections, one of them will make that decision to help other people. You know what I mean? And for others of you, you may work together. And in those connections, I feel like those who choose to really work together, you know, in their partnership, but also like in the way that you like approach life, the way that you know, maybe make an income or whatever, however you guys choose to work together in partnership, it is going to attract huge transformations into your life and for the collective. So it's a beautiful energy coming through. It's funny because I did play with these cards earlier and this message came through, not in so many cards, but I did see that and I was feeling that as well then. So I do think a lot of you will reach union. This is what you've been wishing for. And it's going to be different than it was in the past. So you're going to know. And it's because you've done that work. This is like that Nine of Pentacles energy. You've gotten your self-esteem up. You release the past. You're not like hating on them. You're not hating on your situation. You're not living, you know, like you need to protect yourself in every moment. You realize that you have this power to create. You have the ability to manifest what you're wishing for. And I do think a lot of them are passionate, like they are desiring to connect with you in this way. But I don't think it's just that. I think that there's love there as well. You know, it's time to clear up the reputation. It's time to clear up the energy that has kept you guys away from each other so that you can create the future that you've wanted. It says, expect the unexpected to occur. Be alert for new opportunities to come to you in unusual ways. The angels give a gift to you, the future, but they can't undo. Oh no, the angels give a gift to you, the future, but they can't undo the fate that you alone make true. When expectations cloud your view, for even the most perfect plans need the touch of the divine hands. So again, like I was saying earlier, you know, think about what you want, but don't be so like, it needs to be this person, it needs to be this day, it needs to be by this time, or blah, 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 blah. Just like know what you want at your core and strive for it, work towards it on your own. And that's how you're going to attract towards you the future that you want. You know, but just know that it can't come to you exactly the way that you're, you know, every little detail, because we are beings here. We have free will. Free will can impact all of it, especially in regards to a relationship. Because if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're like, I want them to be here on this day at this time, da 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 da, you know, things are going to shift. You know, we can't always do that. So if you just release that resistance a little bit, you attract them in a little bit faster. So just, you know, stay focused on the fact of releasing the past and knowing that your future is going to come to you in unexpected ways. And this message came out for the Divine Feminines a couple readings ago. It was like feminine, you know, love is coming in an unexpected way. And for some of you, it may be a new person, but for a lot of you, I think it's going to be that this person comes back to you in an unexpected way. They're going to change. They're not going to be living in the past. They're not going to be repeating the past because you've let go of it. You've healed your fear of it. You're not, you know, attracting it towards you anymore because you created those boundaries, and because you've worked on your confidence, you are attracting this person to you who very much still wants to connect with you sexually and desires you. But I feel like it's more so, you know, there's love underneath it. You know, they're getting into alignment with the divine truth. The throat chakra energy is very strong here. And I think you are getting amped up for your happy ending. So thank you very much, Kristen, for the Love and Relationships deck. I love it. And thank you very much to all of you who have been liking and commenting and subscribing. I have been so tired. I haven't really gotten to everybody's comments, but I will try to, go through them. I always feel bad when people comment and I don't get to them, but the other channel that I run is now going crazy too. So, it's just a lot. I gotta get back into that flow. Plus I was, busy over the weekend and I have a lot of plans coming up. So I'm trying to balance everything out and not just, kick my butt too much. So if you'd like to donate, there's a link down below. If you'd like to send a deck, there is an Amazon wishlist link down below. I did add one for the puppies per request of one of the viewers. They asked if I could do a wiener wish list, and I did. I am taking private readings, but I am on a 2-week wait, and I may at some point have to go up on that just because, like I said, my schedule's filling up more than it was in the past, and I'm just tired. So we'll see. It hasn't been too bad, but I am starting to get back up into that point where there's like 10 or 12 of you requesting a day, and that's just too much. So I like to spread it out. And if you're okay with waiting, it's a 2-week wait. So if you're interested, you can email me your details. All of the information is down below. A lot of people reach out and ask me stuff. All of the information that you need is down below. And if you want to see a trance channeling, the other channel has me channeling the Pleiadians, so you can see kind of what it looks like. And I have done the trance for the Divine Masculine here. I do it with cards though. So there's 2 different ways. I think the reading here is called Divine Masculine, I'm sorry, or something like that. Please forgive me, I'm sorry I hurt you. That one is one where I'm kind of channeling the higher self of them through their words to you. And then on the other channel, I show you the trance channeling from the emissaries. So if you have questions about your life, your career, things like that, that's more for that. And then the automatic writing is the same thing. I just tap into the higher self of the masculine to write you a letter. And, either answer your questions or just bring through messages that need to come through for you at the time. I prefer to do the cards, though. They're a little bit easier for me to get back to you. It doesn't take as much energy. So if you're wanting something back faster, you should probably do card reading. But if you don't mind waiting, I can do the trance or the automatic writing for you as well. I need to be in the right vibe for it. And it does take more energy from me to do those. All right, so thank you very much. In Mune, namaste.